I used to think of my life as a rap star.
Hey, welcome back to Emlyn in the Mix, where we discuss things all music technology, software and hardware, recording gear, studio gear, instruments, and more. If you love that sort of thing, then you're going to love the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Now, let's get on with the show with your host, yours truly, Emlyn. Hey, and welcome back to the Emlyn in the Mix show, season 5, episode 3. Yes, it is that time of year. It is NAMM 2024 happening right now in Anaheim, California. If you are watching this video or listening to this podcast in the future, we are talking about, of course, NAMM 2024, and we're going to be discussing or talking about probably one of my favorite synths of all time, an iconic legend. It is, of course, the microKORG, which I have in the background just behind me. It actually, for me, it was my original and first synthesizer I ever got. So to see this get a re-release 20 years later is just so exciting, and I'm definitely going to be getting one. Obviously, we don't have one in the studio. We're no Loopop here. We didn't get an exclusive from Korg, but Korg is our friends here on the channel, and we will be reviewing or looking at one of these later in the year. But today on the show, it's merely just going to be me talking and rambling about NAMM 2024 and some of the, I guess you could say, products which have piqued my interest. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to cover everything, and there are more products getting released over the next few days, of course, which we'll have to cover in a later episode. But today it'll sort of be fun to just discuss some of the new releases, and then, of course, look at this iconic legend. I'll have a timeline down below if you just want to hear me talking about the microKORG, this update, the Mark II, that is. Click the timeline down below if you just want to get to that. But before we get to that, of course, need to give a big shout out to our sponsor. It is, of course, Output, Arcade by Output. Click the link down below to get over 64,000 playable samples. That's a lot of samples, and 1,300 instruments. I mean, that's probably all you need in the world, in the software world. If you just had that, you're going to have all the sounds pretty much in the universe to make your next hit record. So click the link down below. Thank you to our sponsor, Output, and their amazing instrument, Arcade. All right, let's get stuck into what has sort of piqued my interest and what has just sort of been announced in the last few days. And of course, if you've been living under a rock, Korg have just gone all out in full force, just dropping product after product. And it's really awesome to see all sort of new and innovative products. I mean, some of them are just updates. I wouldn't just say just updates or just refreshers, but some are remarkable updates. And then, of course, there are new innovative products as well. As I said at the start of this show, I'm not going to be able to cover everything that's been released. But anyway, our first one here comes to us from AlphaTheta. It's a tongue twister, especially for someone like me. That name just is not going to work for me when you have a lisp like I do. Can't believe I do a podcast with a lisp. Anyway, this is also known as, this company is the owner of like Pioneer DJ and a bunch of other affiliate companies as well. But anyway, AlphaTheta have dropped the Omnis-Duo. What is the Omnis-Duo? Well, it is a portable all-in-one DJ system. So easily slide the Omnis-Duo into a good sized backpack and carry it anywhere thanks to its compact size, modest weight, and rounded corners of the unit. System's 2-deck and mixer layout will look familiar to everyone and feel great when you're DJing. And there are 2 modes for the touchscreen, light and dark mode, which you can instantly switch between. Okay, here we go. We've got a guy or a person there playing with the portable DJ unit there, the Omnis. How do you say this? I keep thinking it's Omnibus. Omnis-Duo. Okay, portable all-in-one. Not the greatest name, I'm going to be honest, but this piqued my interest. Check this out. Battery powered. So you can play up to 5 hours without plugging into the mains. And when it's time to top up the power, you can connect the AC adapter or plug in a compatible power bank. So, or you can power it over USB-C, Type-C. and keep the music going. If you need to keep the music going, of course, switching to eco mode extends the life of the battery and the party, and you can combine the Omnis-Duo with the new battery-powered Wave 8 speaker, which we're going to speak about in a sec. They just dropped or announced that literally in the last 24 hours. Anyway, this looks kind of cool. It's a portable DJ player, all-in-one, touchscreen, battery-powered. I'm loving the direction here. And yeah, AlphaTheta, as it's, I guess it's pronounced here. It's got an SD card in the back there, so you can put all your songs all in one, which means it's all on board, battery powered. It kind of looks sleek. It looks futuristic. I like the design layout, and it looks very simple. Now you can pair it up with, this was announced as well, just as part of NAMM. Obviously, you can pair it up with this speaker here, which is the Wave 8, which is also a portable and battery-powered speaker, EV speaker. Cable-free DJing without sound delays is now possible with the Wave 8, thanks to Sonic Link. Have no idea what Sonic Link is. It must be some proprietary, like a Bluetooth link thing. Might not be Bluetooth. Ultra low latency technology wirelessly transmits audio much faster than Bluetooth connection. Okay, it's not Bluetooth, sorry. So only a fraction of a second passes between pressing play on the decks and hearing the track through the speakers, which lets you mix without missing a beat. Well, that's good, because you definitely wouldn't want delay when you're mixing your DJ decks there with the Omnis-Duo. Take the included transmitter out of its storage compartment on the Wave 8 and connect it to your DJ gear. Okay, so you just sort of connect it into the back of your DJ gear, which would transmit it wirelessly. That's pretty cool. And you can instantly create a wireless connection, enabling you to throw a DJ party anywhere you want. And if you combine the Wave 8 with the new Omnis-Duo portable all-in-one DJ system, which features battery power, you can play cable-free for total freedom. I like the direction they're going here with this. Now, are they DJing with just one speaker? Is this the idea for the future? We're just DJing in mono? We're not doing stereo anymore? Maybe. I mean, it's probably a good sounding speaker. It isn't. The other thing that I found interesting, it's only an 8-inch driver. Like that to me, I mean, it'll be good. It'll be very punchy, but I don't know we get that low deep end. It's a good sized cabinet. A very good looking sturdy speaker, and coming from the team that of course produces Pioneer DJ. Let's see, with a highly, what's the output on this thing? With a highly efficient Class D amplifier, newly developed 8-inch driver, and a Vortex bass accelerator which delivers clear and powerful bass, the Wave 8 will bring the vibes and the punch. Yeah, it'll bring punch at 8-inch to your party's sound, even in outdoor settings, and cover large events and spaces. And you can easily add more units to your setup with Sonic Link connection, e.g. using 2 speakers in stereo for an expansive experience. Yes, I think stereo is fairly important. I guess when you're pumping loud music and people are drunk and they're dancing, they don't really care if it's in stereo or mono. With the third, you can add a third as a dedicated subwoofer. Oh, that's pretty cool. For a club-like heavy bass sound. That's cool. There are even several modes you can change between with the single switch to create the type of sound you need, including mono, stereo, and subwoofer mode. That's actually cool. So if you got 3 of these, you have got a club sound. And look, I've got to give it to, I hate saying this name, AlphaTheta, that company. I hate saying that name now. I just wish they called it Pioneer DJ. But yeah, that's cool. You could have 3 speakers, one of them's in sub mode, and then you go to stereo. I mean, and I'm sure they sound great. 8-inch drivers, interesting choice. It keeps it portable, because if you went up to 10-inch drivers, you're going to be starting to get, quite large and heavy. But at 8-inch, it keeps it portable, and they've probably worked out to get these just absolutely smashing. Now, I did want to see what the output is. What do we got? What's our wattage? I don't think I can see it here. I apologize for not getting that. 2.5 gigahertz is your wireless. Weighs 12 kilos. It's hefty. It's not light, but I'm sure it's great quality. Doesn't tell me what the output is. Okay, we'll have to look at that for another day. But definitely this caught my attention, and this was one of those new drops for NAMM 2024. Let's move along to our next product here that piqued my interest and many other YouTubers' interest, because I've seen videos of this already floating around the webs like you wouldn't believe. It is, of course, Seqtrak from Yamaha. Yamaha, I feel, is really back in the world of professional audio. The Pro Audio Yamaha that, you know, from the past. And when I say past, I'm thinking of I can't remember what it was called, like the Tandoori or whatever it was. I think that was the name. It was like a little sequencer thing from like 15, maybe 20 years ago now. Anyway, Seqtrak is here. What is Seqtrak? Well, it is a drum. It is a synth. Anyway, I'm going to play this little video back for us here and mute my microphone while I do. Let's have a watch here to get an idea of Seqtrak. Nice bass sound. Small form factor, going down the teenage, oh there we go, sampling. Teenage engineering vibes. This actually looks really good. Yep, comes with software for the iPad or Mac. It's got a visualizer. Wow. And AR, just keeping it modern. Nice. Yamaha make waves. I mean, not only do they make, what are they called? They actually make those wave rider things. I don't even know. That's not the name for it. You know what I'm talking about. Motorbikes. Yamaha does a lot. They make pianos. Anyway, they're back in the pro audio world, and I love it. I love to see Yamaha back in the pro audio world, and Seqtrak is no exception. So it's a drum module. For those of you who are listening, I do apologize. It was just beats and then me randomly occasionally coming back on the microphone. But it's of course just beats and, a drum machine inside with, I think it's 2 synthesizer engines. Don't quote me on that. There seems to be 2 colors, and I don't know if it's just the color scheme or if they're totally different. I think it's just the color scheme. You can get it in black or you can get it in this orange and white finish. But totally going down this is really going down the teenage engineering road. I actually really like the look of this thing, and I really like what Yamaha's doing. They released something else just recently. Now it's on the top of my mind, but I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it was like a rhythm drum thing which looked really cool. But Seqtrak, nice. I really like the simplicity. I like how small it is. No screens on board, but I guess if you can hook it up to your iPad or your iOS, it doesn't matter. Here we go. You got sound engines and effects. So you got double your creativity potential with 2 versatile sound engines. Yes, I was right. So AWM 2 advanced wave memory 2 boasts an impressive 128 note polyphony and specializes in authentic sounds like pianos, strings, and guitars, while the 4 operator FM engine produces stunning synth pads, leads, FM, electrics, pianos, and more. Okay. Additionally, Seqtrak includes powerful effects for polished sound. It's got a sequencer on board. Of course, that's why it's called Seqtrak. Advanced sequencer allows for intuitive and seamless arrangement and playback of musical tracks. With its user-friendly interface, you can easily navigate and control various parameters such as tempos, swings, and track settings. And you got sound editing. Inside the included Seqtrak app, you'll find an intuitive graphic user interface that lets you quickly dive into each track and shape your sound with possessions. Editing includes a comprehensive set of functions, including envelopes, filters, and effects enabling you to refine your compositions and meticulous detail. Now, don't get on the hate bandwagon on YouTube like a lot of you visceral haters out there do and be like, you're just reading that from the website. So the reason why I read it from the website is because I get it from the source, man. That's what I do. I'm reading it directly from the source. What, do you want me to go ask your neighbor's dog what he thinks of Seqtrak? Do you think he's going to be able to answer it for you? I'm just being silly. I digress. This is like one of my stupid dad jokes at this point. AR, yes. Let's just keep it like kind of 2024. I mean, AR's been around much longer than 2024, but hey, let's keep it new age for the... I don't know why you need AR. I don't get that. I like the visualizer thing though. So the Seqtrak app has a visualizer mode that transforms your music into a captivating visual experience. And with this free performance and production feature, you'll bring your music to life with stunning visuals that sync perfectly with your songs. Customize and tweak patterns, motion effects, and more however you see fit. There's even an augmented reality mode that allows you to integrate 3D virtual objects into the real world live videos. Okay, that's kind of cool. I suppose you can put them into your videos. I like that. I really like the direction that Yamaha's taken in their pro audio range. This looks sleek. It looks high quality. I mean, I did actually forget to mention, besides that Tandoori, and I don't even remember if that's quite correctly the right name for whatever the heck I'm talking about here, the sequencer thing from 20 years ago. If any of you remember, leave a comment down below. But besides that, they did have those reface Yamaha reface synthesizers that they made, which were really high quality and sound absolutely amazing. I wouldn't mind getting one of those someday when I have a bigger studio. I can fit more synthesizers in here. Anyway, I totally digress. That's the Seqtrak. It's another drop at NAMM 2024. The next two are going to be quite... Well, actually, before we get to our main feature, the next one's going to be quite brief. I just thought this was interesting. Korg has released a Handytraxx, and I don't quite get why they're calling it Handytraxx, because Seqtrak, if you remember, or if you know, Seqtrak had one of these portable record players called the Handytraxx. Now, did Korg purchase Handytraxx from Seqtrak? Is that what happened here? Okay, it's going to answer it for me. I should probably read this before we do the podcast. So, building on the legacy of the iconic Seqtrak Handytraxx record player, we are proud to announce a collaboration. Okay, there you go. With former Seqtrak president, I'm going to butcher this name, Toshihide Nakama. I did actually study Japanese. I should be able to say that name better. Anyway, who acted as an advisor on a brand new Korg record player that promises to be the definitive tool for portabilism. Handytraxx plays ads, creates and unique functions that go beyond both DJ decks and normal record players to allow full-fledged DJ play. Handytraxx Play makes it possible to physically play with records on the go, making it a dream come true for casual fans, record diggers alike, and hardcore portabilists alike. Sorry, the alike was at the end. So you can sign up here on the website if you want to know when this thing drops. But what I'm curious to know is, I never had a Handytraxx or one of those Seqtrak ones. Can they actually play 12-inch vinyl? Because in the picture, it's only got a 7-inch, and it doesn't look like a 12-inch would fit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it only plays the 7. They're 7 inches, aren't they? The small ones. Maybe it only plays the 7 inches. It probably says it all here, doesn't it? AAA batteries. Whoa. All powered on USB-C. It's got a little speaker, 3-watt on-the-go play. It's compact and lightweight. I'm sure it is. There's our man, Toshihide Nakama. I guess you could call him the inventor. I don't know if he's the inventor. He's just the guy that helped put it together. It looks pretty good. You've got your level. What is that on the? What do you reckon that is? That your speed? Because that's not a crossfader. Or yeah, why would it have a crossfader on here? Master volume, filter. It's got a filter. Wow. Loop. Okay. And pitch. Pitch is here. And then you can change your RPM depending on what kind of record you have. I'm interested. I mean, I have... What do I have? I've got the Audio-Technica... Not the Bluetooth one, but I've got like one of the... It's a ripoff of the Technics 1200 SLMK2. Very good though. Very good ripoff actually. And that's the reason why I got it. A lot cheaper, but it's really mechanically A1. Audio-Technica did a great job there. But loving what Korg did here. Now, let's just get to our main feature. Here we go. Here's our main feature, celebrating the release of this little beast. I was going to say beast, but it's a little beast. The microKORG. I think it's the Mark II is what they're touting it as, or they're just touting it as microKORG. It is the new origin of the microKORG. But before I get into we're just going to discuss this now. We're going to talk about the microKORG. But before I do, I just want to say Korg, wow. Wow to Korg, just dropping product after product, all innovative, not like, and if I have any Behringer fanboys watching me right now, I'm sorry, you might want to turn the video off and leave, because I'm sorry, but Behringer, like, what Behringer is doing is essentially just copycatting all the old school synthesizers, and there's a great reasoning behind it, is that it makes it more affordable for those who never had an opportunity, including myself, to have some of those classic synthesizers, and I do see it from that viewpoint. But my viewpoint differs a little bit from others, and I do like the fact that people out there that perhaps wanted one of these classic synthesizers can now get it in this new hardware form from Behringer. But what I don't like about Behringer is there's no innovation at all. Actually, I take that back. There is a slight bit of innovation, but that all the copycat stuff, there's too much. It's too much. They should have just focused on one or two classics that everybody wants, and then boom, go with that. But yeah, I love where I'm getting at with what I'm saying right now. And yeah, you can leave your hate in the comment section down below and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I have some wrongness in my comments. It's okay. We don't have to agree. We can, disagree to agree. This is Earth, this is where we can have this opportunity in a community like this and talk about these things. Anyway, I'm totally going off topic, but the reason why I brought this up is Korg has been innovative as hell. Yes, they have brought some refreshers. Yes, they have, reintroduced, for example, this one here, but this is like a full rehash. And I just got to say, like, it would have been like 20 years ago saying what I'm about to say would have been like embarrassing, because Korg was actually looked, believe it or not, in the 90s and early 2000s, Korg was looked down upon as like a cheap Japanese, just cheapo brand. And now, honestly, Korg, I would even just put it in the top synthesizer categories, 100%. In the top 3, 100% for innovation, sound quality. Korg are just ripping it in the pro audio sphere. They also do pianos and other stuff as well, but in the pro audio sphere, Korg are just smashing it. So there's my little preface to before we get into the microKORG. But yes, the microKORG is my favorite synth of all time, and only because I have a nostalgia. It may not be the best synth of all time, but it's definitely my favorite because I have the nostalgia factor. I recall walking into Manny's, which is a music store in Australia 20 years ago. I'm pretty sure it was called Manny's back then. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew I liked music and I wanted to create something, and I wanted some new sounds. And there was the microKORG. And at that point, the microKORG, I think this was 2005 actually, from memory. The microKORG had already been out for 1 or 2 years at that point. And I played with it in the store and I was like, what is this? What is going on? I didn't know anything about analog or digital. A microKORG being fully digital analog emulation, but sounds really good. That wasn't the point. I wasn't going in there to get an analog synth. I didn't even know what analog synths were back then. So to me, just finding this cool little tiny compared to other synthesizer, and playing with it and hearing the sounds, and at the time they were genre specific. Those sounds that were on the original microKORG at that time, and even today, some of them still sound pretty good, but they were great sounds at that time. They really hit that early 2000s, mid 2000s sound, and you hear them in a lot of records from the mid 2000s on, and probably even today there's people still using it. But yeah, just a great experience all around. My first ever sort of, experience with a synthesizer was the microKORG. So to see this get a refresher, just absolutely loving it. There's my little story. So anyway, we've got a new origin now. I'm sure you don't want to hear what I have to say about it, but this is my show. This is my podcast. I can do what I like, okay? All right, so the microKORG, one of the most iconic and recognizable synths in the history of music, revolutionized the music world with its unique form factor and unmistakable sounds. So making it an industry standard for musicians everywhere. Using countless legendary performances and recordings, its legacy spans more than 20 years. Renowned and loved by musicians, sound engineers, producers, and gadget buffs everywhere, the microKORG has now evolved to a more powerful, more flexible, and richer level, the new microKORG. So they're not calling it Mark II. They're just calling it microKORG. So while retaining some of the iconic aspects of the original, including the convenient portable size, easy to play mini keyboard, and the large dial for selecting program genres, or the vocoder and dedicated mic, the new microKORG offers a completely new, powerful sound engine, many more usable programs, visually astounding user interface, and so much more. And the new microKORG features a gorgeous 2.8-inch full-color IPS LCD display. LCD displays seem to be all the rage again. Maybe because they've gotten better, and I think they're way cheaper than their counterparts, like a OLED, of course. The mini OLEDs are looking good too, though, but it would have cost them a bit to do that, I think. Anyway, not only makes editing incredibly easy with that little screen, but intuitive and brings immediate information and instant gratification as users can visually shape and see their sounds, as well as a powerful vocal processor. So now it has, on that little mic, you got a harmonizer and hard tuning effects. So the new microKORG also features a loop recorder on board. Okay, that's cool. And makes it the perfect production performance tool for today's diverse music world and beyond. That is freaking dope. Ah, man. I'm obviously a Korg fanboy. I'm like totally shaking my legs right now because I'm so excited. And I think it's probably showing on the camera. Anyway, beloved by musicians worldwide, its intuitive interface and powerful, rich, diverse sound makes the new microKORG the ideal synth for anyone really to explore the magic of synthesis, new standard, the new microKORG. Let's have a look at a few pickies here. So there it is, looking from the top. There it is with its little microphone on board. You can see it there. So you're going to be able to do hard tuning and harmonizing effects. That's really cool. Really interesting. Look at that. That looks so nice. I like it's simple. It's always been simple, the microKORG. You got a huge preset knob here for, selecting your different genres. Looks like you got your volume. Not sure what this other one is here. Up and down, preset selector down here. And then you just have your 8 controls here. They've actually simplified it more. I'm just looking at my original, the white one up there. I think that's screwing with the green screen when I move my head. But anyway, yeah, they've simplified or removed a couple of the knobs. But I guess you can probably do a lot of that on the screen. The back pretty much looks the same. MIDI in, MIDI out, left, right, mono out, and headphone jack, sustain, and looks to be pedal and a USB straight to your computer. Expression pedal is what I was trying to say. Yeah, very simple on the back. Just the USB in is probably new there. And they've color-coded the encoders, and they've given them numbers as well, which you can see on the screen. Now, I know Lou Pop's already done a video. How he got one of these, I don't know. That man just has ways, doesn't he? We are in with Korg, though, on Emlyn in the mix. So Korg loves us. We love Korg. I'm sure that I'm going to get one of these, and I cannot wait to show you guys. I don't know when, but the distributor here in Australia is moving at the moment. So once they've done their move, I'm sure I'll be able to get some gear I can show you guys. But this one's got to be... This takes the cake for me. I know Korg released some other really, really cool items, and I don't want to discredit or downplay all the cool stuff that Korg released. We only have so much time for the podcast, so I don't want to... This podcast would have gone for an hour if I had covered all the stuff I really loved from Korg that came out this last week. But yeah, look, I just wanted to celebrate this iconic microKORG synthesizer. I just really love it. I like the new design. I like the color. The color skew is really nice. It gives a nod to the original, but looks modern. Like, just really mint. So the original microKORG was well known for its easy to use vocoder with a dedicated mic, and one of the reasons for its unfading popularity. So the new microKORG takes this concept to the next level and features a brand new powerful vocal processor. In addition to vocoder effects, the new vocal processor features industry standard hard tune pitch correction effects, because God forbid that is the popular sound these days, isn't it? Like, I can't do it, sorry. Along with the harmonizer that lets you pitch shift and layer the original focus on. Hey, I'm going to be playing with that hard tuner. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to be smashing that hard tuner, okay? I'm not belittling the hard tuner, all right? So you can also apply reverb, delay, and other effects of vocal processor signals out. Boom! That is so nice. Enjoy playing the new microKORG with the dedicated gooseneck mic that sports a metallic neck to get the vocals you've dreamed of live in studio. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like pretty much the same sort of, but they've changed the color. It was white, I think, even on the original. I've got the white one here. You can't even see it. I didn't set up multicam today. We were having so many technical difficulties before we got into the podcast today. And anyway, I feel better now. We're rolling, but yeah, you guys don't care about that. If you're still watching us here, yeah, that's great. Thank you for staying. And you're obviously a Korg fanboy at this point. If you're still here, you're a microKORG fanboy. I'm sure of it. So genre-wise, house disco, hip-hop R&B, funk soul, pop rock, these are the genre presets we have on the new microKORG. Ambient, electronica, techno trance, D&B dubstep, game, SFX. I like that they haven't really changed the genres. Like, maybe funk is new, rock is new. That all looks pretty much the same. Game is new. Oh, so it looks like it probably has the original presets on board too, because you got classic, modern, future, and then you got user presets there. Travel through time. Okay, here we go with the sound. So expanding on the sound palette, new microKORG introduces a genre-based category and bank selector. Well, didn't it always have that? So providing quick access to an incredibly diverse range of sounds within classic, modern, and future categories, the genre-based category and bank selector lets users quickly find sounds that will fit any genre without endless and tedious preset browsing. So 3 banks feature 8 genres categories, each offering 8 preset programs, and you can save up to 64 programs. Okay, so it's got 3 banks, 8 genre categories, and then 8 presets per genre category. That's cool. Does it have the original though? That's what I'm curious, because it says classic up here. Anyway, we're going to find out, I'm sure. The microKORG is a virtual analog synth. Yeah, it is virtual, which means it's digital. It's not analog, but it models analog circuitry. One of the characteristics of a virtual analog synth is that there are no physical restrictions in terms of how the circuitry is laid out, which gives you a wide canvas to create your own sounds, so you can go beyond the classic, modern, and future eras. And microKORG features virtual patch functionality in a compact form, offering the patch functions that users are already familiar with when creating sounds using analog circuitry. That's cool. Quickly and easily create deep yet detailed sounds while checking the patching on the on-screen graphical user interface. I love everything about this. I'm just such a Korg fanboy at this point. Love everything Korg does. They're my number one. For me, they're my number one. They may not be the number one for everyone, but for me, they're my number one. I started with them. I'll probably end with them. And there is a white skew as well. Black and white. Okay, so looks like there's 3 color schemes. So they've got the white and black, and then they've got this classic. But I gotta say, I'm loving that classic. I am loving that classic. All right, guys, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can listen to us on Spotify as well if you do that sort of thing. You want to hear me on the road, you want to hear me in your car, hear me in your earballs, depending on where you are. And if you're still here with us on the show, thank you so much for staying all the way through. These are my thoughts and emotions, or feelings, not really. This is what excites me about NAMM 2024. We get so many cool brand new releases and freaking love it. Obviously can't cover everything here, but this was one of the most exciting drops for me personally. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Don't forget to reach out and click the link down below if you want to support the channel and get yourself something really cool. It is, of course, again, click that link down below, Arcade by Output. Get over 64,000 playable samples and 1,300 instruments. No charge today. You can cancel any time. Try it out. Click that link down below. And thank you so much for joining me. What do you think of the microKORG, and they're not calling it Mark II, the brand new microKORG, I'm just going to call it. What do you think of that? Leave all your comments down below. What did you think of Seqtrak from Yamaha? You're going to get one of these? I mean, I probably am, because damn, that thing looks like a lot of fun. The little Korg portable Handytraxx, what do you think of that? And tell us what you think about portable DJing. Is this the future? I mean, it pretty much looks like it is. And until next week, guys, we'll be back. Maybe more NAMM news 2024. We'll see how we go. But thank you so much for joining me. There are a lot of other cool products going to be coming out over the next few days. Until next week, guys, we'll see you then. Peace out. Boom. Hey, thanks for listening to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Here you will find all the latest in music technology, software and hardware, interviews, and more. Also, don't forget to check out the Emlyn in the Mix YouTube channel today. Till next time, keep it real.